Yeah, so in essence, you believe that there was a God, but you also believe, like a lot of scientists, that there is a deistic God out there. He's not personal, but he created it all, but he's not involved with us, all right? And so you basically thought, how could a God who did all of that magnificent creation, why would he care about one little speck of a guy on earth who, didn't know him and had just figured out a little bit of what he had done? You just basically put God on the shelf. You believed in him, like Einstein. Einstein believed that God was there. He was a deist. He didn't believe that God was personal, all right? Let's go back to something they can understand. The fact is, when you were growing up, you started to get interested in science, and you were so interested, I think this went back even further than 17. You were, 7 years old. We're going to talk about that in the next program, some questions that you asked your parents. But they did the right thing. They sent you to the library. Well, you went to the library, and the fact is, they only let you read so many books because you were 7 years old. Problem was, you read all of them.
Right.
And so then you asked for a pass to go to the next level, which was basically all the way through high school, up to college. And you read all of those books. And so then you asked for a pass, and you got one to the library at the University of British Columbia,
Right.
which had how many volumes in books there?
Well, they didn't have as many as the Vancouver Public Library, but they had way more books on science.
And so you cruised through all of those books.
And they had journals. I was looking at all the journals, too.
Yeah, and so you just were sucking all of this stuff up, all of this information in your mind, and it reinforced the fact that there had to be a creator. You just were like Einstein in the sense that you didn't think he was personal and interested in you. So
that's where I began. But one of the things I discovered was the universe has to be exactly the mass that it is for there to be any hope of life in the universe, which gave me the impression this God that created the universe seems to have a very high value and purpose for life and human beings in particular. Otherwise, why would the universe be just the right mass and just the right size? Make the universe slightly smaller in mass, all you get is hydrogen and helium. Make it slightly greater in mass, all the elements are like iron or heavier than iron. In both cases, no carbon, no oxygen, no nitrogen. So that was the first clue I had. Maybe it's more than just a deistic God. Maybe it's a personal God, a theistic God.
Yeah, and you had two helps. You had one was the definition of cosmology, and then you also read a book by Dr. George Roche, and that kind of told you kind of the direction that you were going. Do you remember what that was?
Well, that was a book that was written quite a bit after I became a Christian, but okay. I cite it because he made the point, what you think about the universe is very important. It's not a trivial idea.
Why?
Well, because if the universe really is fine-tuned in many different ways to make our existence possible, that would indicate that the universe was created for the specific purpose of providing a home for we human beings. And given the vast extent of the universe, 2 trillion galaxies, where each galaxy has about 100 billion or more stars, that's a lot of investment that's being poured into making possible our existence. This God must place a very high value on us human beings.
Yeah, and then you realize that God must be the ultimate reality that's behind all of this, and it led you to start thinking about, was he interested in you?
Yes, and that's what led me to say, hey, I need to see if I can find who or what this cosmic beginner is,